full script with markers. Must be 1,200 plus words. Midnight hook. 3 months ago, the FBI had no idea that AI would change their life forever. But little did they know, this technology would soon become their greatest ally in the hunt for the most elusive serial killer they've ever encountered. 0:30 setup. In 2018, the small town of Millbrook, Ohio was shaken to its core when the body of 23-year-old Sarah Thompson was found in a secluded park. The cause of death was determined to be strangulation, and there were no immediate suspects. However, as the months passed, more bodies began to surface, all bearing similar marks and methods. The killer, whose identity remained unknown, became known as the Elusive Predator. Each victim was carefully selected,
and the crime scenes were meticulously clean, leaving investigators with few clues. The Predator's MO was chillingly consistent. He targeted young women, lured them to remote locations, and then strangled. The bodies were always left in public places, a twisted message to the community and law enforcement. 1 o'clock, pattern interrupt. But here's where it gets interesting. In 2021, the FBI brought in a team of forensic psychologists to create a profile of the killer. They determined that the Predator was likely a white male between the ages of 30 and 45, with a history of violence and possibly a background in law enforcement or military. This profile helped narrow down the suspect pool, but the killer continued to evade capture. 2 o'clock, rising action. The challenge facing the FBI was immense. The Predator was intelligent, methodical, and seemed to be one step ahead of the investigation at every turn. In 2022, the case took a surprising turn when a witness came forward claiming to have seen the killer near one of the crime scenes. The witness described a man wearing a black hoodie and sunglasses, but the description was too vague to lead to any concrete leads. The investigation hit another roadblock when the Predator changed his MO. Instead of targeting young women, he began killing men in their 40s and 50s. The methods were still the same: strangulation and meticulous cleanup, but the change in target demographics threw the investigators off. 3 o'clock, pattern interrupt. Every 60 seconds must have a new development or reveal. In 2023, the FBI turned to advanced forensic techniques, including DNA analysis and facial recognition software, to try and identify the killer. Despite these efforts, the Predator continued to elude capture, and the case remained unsolved. 4 o'clock, complications. Things got even more complicated in 2024 when the Predator struck again, this time in a completely different state. The body of 47-year-old John Miller was found in a park in Atlanta, Georgia, over 600 miles away from Millbrook. The similarities between the crime scenes were undeniable, and the FBI realized that they were dealing with a highly mobile killer who could strike anywhere at any time. The investigation faced new challenges as the Predator's geographical range expanded. The FBI had to coordinate with multiple local law enforcement agencies, sharing information and resources to try and track the killer's movements. Despite these efforts, the Predator continued to slip through their fingers, leaving a trail of bodies across the country. 5 o'clock, pattern interrupt. But the real surprise is coming. In early 2025, the FBI made a groundbreaking decision to incorporate AI technology into the investigation. The hope was that AI could analyze vast amounts of data and identify patterns that human investigators might miss. The technology was put to the test, and the results were promising. 6 o'clock, climax. The AI system analyzed thousands of pieces of evidence, including DNA samples, surveillance footage, and witness statements. After weeks of processing, the system identified a potential suspect, a man named Michael Carter who lived in Millbrook and had a history of violent behavior. The FBI immediately launched an investigation into Carter, but when they arrived at his home, they found it abandoned. The DNA results would change everything. The forensic team collected DNA samples from Carter's home and compared them to evidence found at the crime scenes. The results confirmed that Carter was indeed the elusive Predator. However, the Predator had vanished without a trace, leaving the FBI with more questions than answers.
7 o'clock, resolution. As of 2026, the case of the elusive Predator remains unsolved. The FBI continues to search for Michael Carter, using every resource at their disposal, including the latest AI technology. The Predator's disappearance has left a lasting impact on the communities where he struck, and the families of his victims continue to seek justice. If you're enjoying this, hit subscribe. We post stories like this every day, and you don't want to miss the next one. Subscribe and hit the bell. We drop new true crime content every single day. The next story is even crazier. 7:45 pattern interrupt. If you like this, watch our next video on the chilling case of the Black Dahlia murder. Stay tuned for more gripping true crime stories. 8 o'clock in.